Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines and, honestly, feels like a scene straight out of a dystopian thriller. Russia has launched a ballistic missile and drone strike on Kyiv, and the fallout is both devastating and deeply unsettling. But here's the thing, this isn't just another news update. It's a moment that forces us to step back and ask some really tough questions about where this conflict is headed and what it means for the rest of the world. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting and alarming is the escalation we're seeing. Ballistic missiles aren't just a show of force, they're a statement. And the fact that residential buildings and warehouses were hit? That's not just collateral damage. It's a deliberate move to sow fear and chaos. Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko mentioned fears of people trapped under rubble, and that's the kind of imagery that sticks with you. It's not just about the numbers, 1 person killed, 12 injured, it's about the human cost, the lives upended in an instant. Now, let's talk about the timing. Russia has intensified these attacks in recent weeks, and it's hard not to connect the dots. Ukraine has been stepping up its own strikes on Russian civilian infrastructure, including power facilities. Is this retaliation? Or is it part of a broader strategy to destabilize Ukraine further? What many people don't realize is that this back and forth isn't just about military targets anymore. It's about breaking the other side's will to fight, and civilians are increasingly caught in the crossfire. The drone attack on a beach in Krasnodar, Russia, killing 7 people, and the video of a man being chased by a drone in Kherson, these are moments that blur the lines between combatants and civilians. Both sides deny targeting civilians, but the evidence on the ground tells a different story. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question: where does this end? Ukraine is pleading for more US-made Patriot missile interceptors, and that's a clear sign of how desperate the situation is. But even if they get them, will it be enough? Russia's use of ballistic missiles is a game-changer, and it's not just Ukraine that should be worried. If you take a step back and think about it, this kind of escalation could set a dangerous precedent for other conflicts around the world. What this really suggests is that the rules of engagement are shifting, and not in a good way. One detail I find fascinating is how both sides are framing these attacks. Russia calls it a response to Ukrainian aggression, while Ukraine paints itself as the victim of Russian brutality. The truth, as always, is somewhere in the middle. But what's undeniable is the human toll. A woman killed in Kyiv, families torn apart, entire neighborhoods living in fear. This is the reality of modern warfare. And it's not just about the immediate casualties. It's about the long-term trauma, the economic devastation, the erosion of trust. If there's one thing that immediately stands out to me, it's how quickly this conflict is evolving. What started as a ground war has now become a battle of drones, missiles, and psychological warfare. And the international community? Well, they're watching, but what are they really doing? Sanctions, condemnations, weapons shipments, it's not enough. Personally, I think we're at a tipping point. Either the world steps in to de-escalate this, or we're looking at a conflict that could spiral even further out of control. So, here's my closing thought: this isn't just Ukraine's problem. It's a wake-up call for all of us. The way this conflict is being fought, the tactics, the targets, the rhetoric, it's setting a precedent for how wars might be waged in the future. And that should scare us all. What do you think? Are we doing enough to stop this? Or are we just spectators in a tragedy that's unfolding in real time? Let me know in the comments below.